Okay, so we're back for this week ahead, but we also have a full moon on August 15th. So I usually like to read the full moon report because we get an idea of what the week ahead is kind of moving into like culmination with the full moon. So we're gonna kind of go over the full moon first, and then go over the week ahead transits to check that out. Um, but it's it's a nice full moon. I like it. I'm gonna go over that with you. But before we move on, I want to just make a few announcements. Yeah, so the time has come. I'm teaching a Sidereal Astrology Master Course. And this is going to cover all of my studies. I've been studying for years and just continue to study. Because I'm just like digging deep into the origins of astrology, which is our first science. And yeah, and it is a certain kind of, as some of you who know me, there's a certain kind of upset I have that astrology is not being taken so serious and hasn't been taken so serious. And then when you see that the mainstream tropical astrology, it's not even aligned with the stars, and then there's this whole like kind of thing going on with that where there's sort of like something that's not true that's actually leading the way, which I think it was kind of purposefully designed that way, or manipulated to be that way. And so this master course is meant to kind of arm you and train you to do astrology accurately, the way the ancients practiced. Because remember, astrology was our first science. So we're going to learn our first science the way it was supposed to be studied, which was alignment with the true stars, the constellations and the stars. Alright, so this is what we're going to go into. And you're going to learn everything with how to draw up charts, how to do transits, how to do returns, solar returns, predictive astrology, everything. You're going to learn stargazing, how to read the night sky, how to see the constellations, how to map them out, how to find your way through. You're also going to learn astronomy, so you can learn a little bit of science that kind of backs this up, and you're going to see how the science merges with mythology and then merges with astrology as a language. As this is the first language, astrology was left to us as a language that if we study it, we can understand our purpose. And that's why I think it got a little bit scrabbled, because a human that knows its purpose is pretty powerful. And this is what Sidereal Astrology has done for me, and I have seen it for other people. So this is what we're going to practice. And reach out to me on siderealastrologist.com or the Facebook group Sidereal Revolution. But the dates are looking somewhere along the lines of mid to end of September. It's an 8-part class. We're going to meet twice a week. And there's an application process because it's a deep study. So I'm just not going to take anyone who comes my way with money. I'm going to actually, we have to review your application. And I'm only taking a few students, and it's going to be webinar based. We're going to do it live. We're going to meet twice a week. All right, so so stay connected to me, and I'm gonna announce that. I'm gonna announce the dates and the application process in the link. Okay, and then the next announcement I have is called my Sidereal Rant, which was part of also what I just said, was that Sidereal Astrology is astrology that's aligned accurately with the constellations in the sky. So what you see on your chart is what you see in the sky. Okay, because tropical mainstream astrology, the astrology that everyone is following right now, doesn't align with the stars in the sky. And you can look this up yourself, and you can fact check, and you can see that I'm not crazy. Alright, and just look up Sidereal Astrology versus Tropical Astrology, and it's gonna be explained to you in terms that you can research and understand that it's not aligned. And a lot of astrologers, number one, don't even know this for themselves because they don't even look in the sky. Or if they do know and they do find out, they keep it hidden. They don't reveal that to their clients, which I don't think is cool. Okay, so that's why it's called the Sidereal Rant. Alright, so now I got that out the way. You can figure out all these things, subscribe to the YouTube channel, click all these buttons and stuff. We're going to move ahead, and we're going to do this full moon report and week ahead. Okay, so here we see when I do full moon forecasts, I like to see what the sun is doing, because the ancients referred to the moon as the great reflector of light, because the moonlight that we see is actually sunlight. So it reflects the energy of what's going on with the sun, and what's going on with the sun is the sun is in Leo, and the moon is in Capricorn. So what I'm seeing, I wrote here, because I like to play with names and I like to have fun. I wrote rightful throne, galactic royalty. So meaning Leo is the king of the signs. It's a royal sign. And we saw Jupiter just went direct. Jupiter is the king of the planets. And it was mixing up this elixir. And now it's in Scorpio, and it's moving back into Ophiuchus, which was the cosmic shaman, and that's in the galactic center. So all of that energy we're dealing with Jupiter is royal. Leo is a royal sign. The divine masculine and the divine feminine, which is divine masculine is Mars, divine feminine is Venus, is in Leo as well, conjunct the sun. So that to me shows like a royalty, the masculine feminine paradigm, because in the last few videos there's this whole paradigm role shifting, and all this stuff was kind of just like moving around, getting us back on track with the roles of what is divine masculine, what is divine feminine, and what how do you respect that, how do you be that, how do you honor that. All these things, I think, if you look at the world, just mainstream media and even music, there's certain disrespect that is between the masculine and the feminine. And as you begin to awaken consciously, which we see with the Uranus retrograde right here in Aries, which was now an internal renewal, my belief is that as you're kind of getting more into consciousness, you can't accept the abuse that's normal between the masculine and the feminine to each other. Like, that's just unacceptable. And it's not cool. And I didn't write it down, it just came out. So I guess I wrote something else, but I'm just seeing seeing all these things that have played out with people, even myself, people to me to people, all this stuff. The disrespect of feminine and masculine to each other is just, that's it, it's done. Like, that's the new paradigm reset, it's done. Like, that's it. You have to honor the masculine and feminine within, honor the masculine and feminine in front of you, around you, all of that. I feel like as you raise up, like, that's what's up, and that is the new paradigm reset. And it's called respect, honor, royalty, because we are all royal. Because if we come to Earth, and if you know about spiritual evolution and reincarnation, this is not an easy task to make it here and to play out what you need to play out. So it's royal. So we are gods. We are kings, we are queens, all of us, each one of us. So I think this is the time to really take that serious, because the moon is in Capricorn. Capricorn moon is a serious moon. This is one that's like time tested. Capricorn is related to Saturn, it's about structure. But the bigger picture is time tested, matured. And I think that's kind of what's happening right now, is we're being seen, or we're experiencing this time-tested, matured energy, while we're having this paradigm reset, which is dealing with respecting the royal selves within us and each other. So that's the bigger picture that I think is moving around. And with awakening comes distractions. And what I notice is a square between Neptune retrograde and Jupiter. So you can see that here. Here's Neptune in Aquarius retrograde, squares Jupiter in Scorpio. So possibly just look out for a little bit of overconfidence when you're kind of stepping into this royalty. look out for arrogance, because when you feel good and you're not kind of fully, aware, you could lead into overextension. Jupiter and Neptune could be delusional and go into overextension, especially if there's a square. And then after that, with the square, a lesson is going to be taught, where you're going to get knocked on your ass probably if you do overextend and become arrogant with this royal energy. So this is a big deal. So I would say, keep tamed with all of that. Let's see. There is a Uranus and Mercury square, right? Is that right? Yeah. So that I think comes up in the transit. That is related to, I think, stuff is going to get released, broadcasted, and I think it's emotional because Mercury is in Cancer. So this is going to be expression, emotional expression, that's going to come out, broadcasted somehow, because Uranus and Mercury together equal high technology, usually in the area of media. So I think, and I might have written this down. Yeah, I did write this down on the transit one. So we're going to go over that. Okay, I'm going to save it for the transit because I have more to talk about the transit. There's stuff that's going to come up around these dates. All right, so we're done with the full moon part. All right, now I'm just going to pause this and we're going to move over into the weekly transits. Okay, so just hang on a second. Alright, so we went over the Sun conjunction, went over the Neptune nodes. That's going on for a while. This is the Uranus retrograde. Now here's what I want to look at with this week. So we went over everything with the full moon, right? And then you see this Mercury Chiron trine? That's something to pay attention to. And what I wrote was like, it's going to be on a global scale, this healing energy that's going to be broadcasted and revealed, which has me thinking that this is going to be pointing towards all of the stuff we see in the media now with this child trafficking and Epstein and the Vatican and all this stuff. I think I've been hearing through the pipeline that there's going to be like mass arrests and things like that. And it's possible that this kind of might be taking place around this time, or but it's definitely a global healing taking place, being expressed, and creating a change, because Uranus right here, Mercury Uranus is that whole electric, high volume, high charged technology broadcast, and then Venus we saw earlier was doing some stuff. And then there's a whole galactic royalty thing that we spoke about with the full moon. So I'm thinking like there'll be a big flushing and revealing of things that were not correct. And it could be happening this week. And it could be a good thing, but it could be painful and all that stuff. So that's basically what the week is, and that's all we got. All right, most of that energy of this week, it was involved with the full moon, which was on the 15th. But yeah, this is going to be pretty good. I'm going to keep an eye out for this. Alright. Okay, guys. So like I said, the master course is happening. It's a deep dive into astrology, our first science. Reach out to me, but stay on all my lists, and you're going to receive information on the dates and the application process. If you haven't already, join the Sidereal Revolution group on Facebook. And if you haven't already, hit subscribe right about now. The little thing will pop up. Hit subscribe and hit the notification bell, and you'll see when the videos come out. Yeah, and that's it, guys. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Alright, thank you.